Hello YouTube, this is the A-Trap here for another episode of Traps Tuesday Tuts. We are going to go ahead and look at what I have built right behind me. What this is actually a 2x2x2 redstone door. What that means is that it's too wide and too tall and also too deep. Now, why would you ever want something like this? This is crazy. Why would you ever want this? Well, one great situation would be exactly what is behind this door. If you ever had 4 separate hallways all leading into the same place. Now, right here what I have is I actually have stone pressure plates on the floor in all 4 hallways, so you can get from anywhere to anywhere. Now, of course, this isn't the most secure door by any means, as you can enter it from any of these places. But what you could do is you could go ahead and link that up to some sort of security code at each corner, or you could link it up to buttons, with T flip-flops, really whatever. I just did this because this would be a great way, you know, if you have just mobs that you're trying to keep out, this would do it because they won't come follow you, and if they did happen to step on that, they might wander over here, and these will close, and it would kill them if they were not in creative as I am. So let's take a look at this. It's a pretty easy build. The biggest thing is there's a center set of pistons facing down, as well as a center set of pistons facing up. Now these are locked on by all 4 of the bottom pistons have torches on them. And then the top ones are actually, there's a torch tower over here that inverts the signal a few times, and then this torch goes ahead and powers all 4 of these through these repeaters at all times. When this gets turned off by having the pressure plate pressed, as well as these all 4 get turned off, that goes ahead and opens the door for a period of time. Now, in order to make that time longer, what we actually have is a pulse extender right here. And I'm going to go ahead and go over that today as well. Starting over here, we have 4 central blocks at the bottom. Now, we need to go ahead and run redstone signal into each of those, and we're going to go ahead and stick torches on each of them. Now, to do the redstone, we'll just bring it along the side. We'll bring it along the side here. Now, keep in mind, we need to keep it one away from this block here. If it goes here, these will actually power, these blocks, when they get power, will actually power this redstone line, which will then, of course, power the repeater, creating an infinite loop of always being on, which, of course, will keep our door open all the time, and that's bad. So we want to keep at least 1 block away for the redstone here. So just keep that in mind. The other option, of course, being you could make sure that your signal is coming in from this side, and then just run repeaters across here. However, that's going to add a little bit of delay for one side of the door, as well as cost more resources. So why do that when all you got to do is come out 1 block? But if you're really cramped for space, that is an option. I just don't want that in my build. What we need to do is come up above and just go ahead and place down our 4 sticky pistons that are going to be our 4 bottom blocks. And then this level here is going to be 1 above our floor level, making this our floor level right here. So we'll have our 4 hallways that all come in at this level here. So if what you want to do is go ahead and do exactly what I did, and have the pressure plates be the activator, what you need to do is go ahead and build out 2 blocks from the center pillar, and then this is going to be where your pressure plates end up. And what we're going to do is we're going to make any of these pressure plates activate our circuit. So now what we need to do is we need to take a redstone signal from each of those pressure plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now remember, redstone has a maximum length, so we need to go ahead and add a repeater in here to make it go further. Make sure you don't put the repeater under one of the pressure plates or it's not going to work. You could put it back here, but I'm going to go ahead and just put it right here. And so then we're going to go ahead and continue that around, and this gets to our last set of pressure plates. So now this signal is the one we want to go ahead and take out to work with. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and use a repeater on that signal. And the reason I want to use that repeater is to get the strongest signal possible into our redstone pulse extender. So we're going to build our little pulse extender right here. And how we do that is we just go ahead and we run a block out. And what we do is we put a comparator facing in each direction and just link it back on itself. And what that's actually going to do is that's going to take a full redstone signal and then put out a signal, and then it's going to move over one, thus getting one weaker, and then that's going to compare that and put out that signal, and then it's going to be reduced by one, and so forth and so on, and it's going to go around in a clock. And it will slowly count down to a level of 0. Now you can extend this out a little bit by adding more comparators into the system, but we don't need to do that for this particular setup, so we're not going to. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take, again, to make it travel as long as possible, because once this gets down to 1 or less, it's not going to actually send any signal any further down a redstone line going this way. So we're going to use a repeater coming out to make our system work. And we're going to go ahead and take that out over here and run that on down. So currently what we've got is that will retract, and then it will extend back again once that counts down. And as you can see, the way this clock works, full signal, and it slowly counts down, and then it releases. So that's the bottom half of our door complete. But we need to have the top half too. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will build up from the top of our door. This is the closed door. This is the extended piston. This is where the piston needs to be. And this level here, 4 up from the top of that door, is where we need to go ahead and set our block to set our sticky piston. So we're going to set our sticky pistons down like that. And we are done there. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these blocks now. They were just placeholders. And as you can see over here, we need to build our ceiling in so that we can have something to work off of redstone-wise. So our ceiling is going to end up being right here. So now we're going to go ahead and place in our repeaters, and they can be really in any order you want. Over there, I did 2 on one side and 1 on each of the 2 sides. It really doesn't matter. So here I'll just go ahead and do it that way, so that we can see that anything will work. So what we're actually going to do here, just to show a different method, is we're going to go ahead and just use a redstone line, and that's going to be what's going to power this side. So there's that. So now what we got to do is we got to build our redstone tower. So we're going to go ahead and take this same signal. So what we will do is we will actually go ahead and run this redstone line into a block here, which will have a torch on it, which will then have a block on top of that with a torch on top of that, which is off because that torch is powering it. Block on top of that with a torch on top of that. Block on top of that. And we are getting to the top here. So we're going to go ahead and stick a torch on the side with a block on top and then a torch on top of that. And that will allow us to run our redstone signal straight into here, and that is done. So again, this torch currently is powering this block, which turns off this torch, powering this block. I mean, not powering this block, which makes it so that this torch can be on, which powers this block, which makes this torch off and this one on. So again, this is just your standard torch tower, and it powers all of this. And so all 4 of those are extended right now, and so we just need to throw our blocks on there. Now, again, this is going to be a tunnel into each of these 4 sides. So I go ahead and, in this example, just used sea lanterns. You can use any form of lighting in any way you want, torches on the wall, whatever. But the sea lanterns actually work quite nicely for this situation. So then we just want to build out our walls. They can be any length you want. Keep in mind, though, you do have this torch tower here. So if this is our floor, we could build walls wherever we want. But you're going to want to build this wall out, unless, of course, you want to see the torch tower, at least that far, and then you can have your wall in your room go out this way. Now, of course, if you don't mind seeing the torch tower, or you want to build a glass wall, or whatever you want to do, that's obviously completely up to you. This is all just so you can build in your own world whatever you want. But you would just build out all 4 sides. I'm not going to do that in my build because we all get the idea. But that is actually, the build is done. We stand right here and it opens up. We get off of it and it should close on up after a period of time. Now, the top and bottom don't quite line up. There's just a little bit of delay because of the torch tower. So to get rid of that delay, we can just add in a repeater here, put it to 3 ticks, which goes ahead and gives us a perfect open and a perfect close. But so that is the build done. I actually am going to real quick just throw in these walls. Again, build this out of whatever material you want. Build this out of, if this is in your wooden house, obviously build it out of wood. If this is out of your stone house, build it out of stone. I'm using iron blocks here, mostly because they are just a great tutorial item. Because of the hard edges, you can see the lines very distinctly, so you can count number of blocks by pausing the video. But that is going to conclude our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out. Whether or not you want to build a 2x2x2 door, I hope you learned something. And remember, folks, don't get trapped without me.